Hello, hello. It's time for just a little bit of drawn. I'll probably have my mic like on and off over the course of however long I end up going for. Kinda just depends on how chill I end up feeling, or if I just want to go into like focus mode or something. Let's go ahead and do a little Swiss. Little over here. We are going to still be drawn hands, because I'm going to keep doing it until they make sense in my brain intuitively. So I have determined. Part of my problem with learning is that I spend a little bit too much time, not actually just, like, hard focusing a particular thing, I've been finding. I'll always end up studying something just enough to have, like, a very surface level understanding of it. Let's see if my pen's working fine. Yeah, okay, I think we're good. But I won't ever get like a super deep understanding of a particular subject matter. So hopefully. Also, sorry, I just hit my microphone. Hopefully I will be able to amend that in some mild capacity. Let's just do some freehand stuff for a little bit. Get myself warmed up, get my fingers moving. In 1 second. Move some stuff around. Also, I'm debating on it, but depending on whenever I gas out from drawn, I might play some Skong later. Either some Skong or might the big might play some Hytale. So I've been playing a little bit of that off stream in my personal time. That's been really fun so far. I've been enjoying it. I don't know if it's like amazing, but it's been a time. Also, banger. Hold on, I'm turning that up. Alright, let's just freehand some. Just gonna go based off of my memory. There's one little bit of information that, like, I've sort of known for a while, but, like, I didn't really understand it until super recently, and that how, like, a lot of joints. I'm kind of saying this out loud for the sake of reinforcing it, but a lot of joints tend to have like their contact points for their bones on like a relative surface opposite to where like excess material, quote unquote, is. So like with the fingers, right? You got the bone. You got your finger bones going through, right? And usually these contact points are opposite to where like a lot of mass shows up, which is where you get like your CSI curves in. So what ends up happening usually is if you were to simplify it into just like cylinders, because you have this as your contact point, right? Like if these are just touching, this segment ends up overlapping. Like if I did all that in just erase, that was weird. Ends up overlapping here as it rotates. So that's how you end up getting like when it actually does bend, you end up getting these weird like trapezoid shapes. And then the palm pops out a little bit there. You got your knuckle. I'm pretty sure that's kind of just how, like, the majority of joints for, like, extremities work. To, like, varying degrees of whatever your bumps and lumps end up looking like. It's based on whatever muscles end up showing there, or, like, whatever fat pads you end up having there. And, like, you could probably give it a little bit of space, because it probably does shift a little bit, but Like, honestly, the way that... Oh, goodness gracious. Something just upset her. Like, it kind of squishes in on itself a little bit to where you get kind of a square shape out of your fingers at very least. I don't know if I want to listen to this right now. Skip. What am I in the mood for? Yeah, just having this in mind, I think at the very least is going to make drawing like fingers and also by extension joints a lot easier for me. You know, so long as I can actually act on it reasonably. Probably have to bring these in a little bit closer together, but be fitting. I wonder. Um, Primitives? Hmm. Do we not have like a posable hand? Huh. I feel like that would be a useful thing to have. I should probably figure out if I can get a downloadable asset for that. I thought I had one, but evidently I do not. A lot of other random stuff, though, that is for certain. Well, these are hand poses, right? Yeah, those are poses, because if I bring that into there... Yeah, okay. It's just gonna bring a whole model rather than just a hand. No, that's fine. Not entirely necessary. Honestly... Let me double check something. Consult me book. Me funny book. I need a different page. Chocolate. That's what I'm saying. Hello, Art. How goes you? Where is... How narrow does the base of the palm get? I mean, it's like kind of square, for me at least, but... I need to make sure that I'm not, like, making it too blocky. I mean, at least from the back it has... It narrows down a little bit more. Yeah, I can kind of get away with just drawing it pretty square. Okay. I can always stylize it a little bit more if I feel like it. It's going pretty okay. This upper rightmost corner is just the stuff from today, but here's the collective amount from like the past or this stream and the previous stream. I'm kind of getting there. The big tricky bit for me is always going to be the fingers, I think, until I get a better handle on them. I have a particularly difficult time trying to get them to look right in perspective. But the palm's really not too bad, because it's kind of just a big block. Like, it's just... It goes up a little bit. You got fat pads going down. You got these, like, sequence of tendons going on over here. Lead out to the thumb. There's, like... There's another muscle here that I think goes outward that way. And kind of leads as part of, like, this fat pad. And then from there you get your fingers, which kind of ascend upward. Pinky being the shortest. These two fingers sit at the same height. Middle finger goes out a little bit more than that. This, like, staggering bit is always tricky for me. I don't know why, because it's, like, a relatively simple thing to figure out so long as you get one of the fingers figured out for, like, proportions, right? I think the big thing is I just need to figure out how long the middle finger is relative to the palm of the hand. Not that it's necessarily something I need to have accurate every single time, because you could play around with proportions, but like segmenting it equidistantly, right? These two fingers sit at about the same, and then the pinky sits a little bit lower than that, usually. And then you just narrow it down based on whatever you need. I think this can actually be a little bit higher, but that's fine. Insightful, I forgot there's muscles pulling and stretching everywhere. Yeah, yes. Everything's full of tendons and fat pads in various little spots that causes different arrangements of things. Like, even here, right? Like, what I did yesterday. Like, I made this go just back into here, but in reality, I'd probably have, like, you would see more of... Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. You would see more of, like, a connective bit here. Yeah, because you get a little bit more dimensionality from doing that. I mean, I outlined it over here, but like wherever your bones are hitting like at the highest surface level contact to your skin, right? Like it's really easy to see with your fingers when you just take your pointer finger and bend it, but like your highest contact point, the area that stretches out from that is usually going to be like the most level of it. And if you were to break it down into a cylinder, where that point bends from, you get like you get these super overlapping creases from your skin, like pushing inward. So at least for your fingers, you can kind of just use a trapezoid to figure out the general shape of what they're going to look like when they compress inward. And it's just kind of just how joints work in general. Like, even with your arms, too. Not that I've necessarily done a bit more studying for them, but like, you know, let's just say like this is, you know, bicep territory. Right, let's use something that's got a little bit more space, I guess. Like, so let's just say that's like upper arm territory. You go to lower arm, funny hand. Right? Like that's our arm territory. Like if we imagine that this here is where the elbow's at, if we were to bring it up inward, usually what people end up doing is they'll end up doing a funny thing where they just like imagine this as the crease point with with their cylinders. So they'll end up doing this when in reality it's probably closer to like this. And then you get this creasing inward. Right? do exactly that, the outward cylinder. Yeah. It's because, like, you're... A lot of people get so hung up on the whole, like, perspective thing of, like, oh, I'm doing a cylinder. I want to be able to see, like, this segment, right? Like, this inner circle. I want to be able to see it so I can check my perspective. But then you end up losing that, like, that grounded connective bit. Like, these creases are where you get that good stuff that tells you where something is bending towards, and also gives you that, like, weighted feel to everything. Tend to forget there's just barely any fat even in the joints, so it sacks of fat in between the joints that cause weird squishiness when you bend them. It's like a combination of, like, little bits of calluses, fat, tendons. Like, hold on. Let me look. Because I do actually have... I got my funny book with me right now. Because, I mean, when you're getting down to the furthest extremities... Let me lower my music just a smidge. When you're getting to, like, your furthest extremities, it's gonna be a lot more of, like, a interconnected mingle of just little bits of muscle and fat and calluses, but still there. And it's gotta go somewhere. It's gotta bend somehow, it doesn't just vanish. When you take two masses and you push them together, either they simply cease to move, or they give a little bit. I want to listen to... I kind of... I've been on such an Ave Mujica kick. I'm gonna listen to more of it. Why not? Yeah, it's something I've known, but you know, I still get caught up in the trap of like, oh, I'm drawing an arm. Ooh, oopsie, I do my circle out this way. Don't worry, I'll connect this massive elbow at some point. When I should just... Like, you get so much more dimensionality to that. Do you draw really small, or is your tablet really big? It's a, like, I think it's a 13, like, 12.5, probably, inch. I also just draw very small for my canvas, usually. Like, I think I have a... Yeah, I'm at a 3000 by 3000 at 300 DPI. So, I'm used to drawing in like really tight corners, should I necessarily be drawing way bigger? Yeah, probably. But for the purposes of studying, just for the sake of getting like proportions down and everything, I don't really mind working super tiny. Also, it keeps me from worrying too much about like extensive amounts of detail, to be completely honest. Because if I'm drawing like yay big, right? Like there's no point in even attempting to figure out like little itty bitty bits of detail at all, right? Not unless I'm doing something that warrants working that small to the point where I'm going like, oh, I'm all the way down to a 15 pixel brush size. Like, nah, there's no reason to. So it helps make it so that I don't just waffle away on something for way too long. You know, I said I wanted to listen to more Ave Mujica, but I actually kind of want to listen to other stuff because I've been on too much of a Ave Mujica kick. So we'll listen to one other specific song from them, I think. We just did Kill Kiss, right? Yeah, we'll do this one. Animal Swap. Yeah, it just depends. Also, now that I have that in my brain proper, right? I have to be zoomed in 2 times as much, and I have a 16-inch one. I mean, I try to make it a point to not be zoomed in super high, right? Like, I try to make it a point that 100% is as far as I go, right? 100% of my actual canvas size is about as far as I go in terms of actually zooming in. I've been making it a very big point to be as pulled out as I possibly can for, like, a lot of this loose stuff. I mean, it's just important compositionally, right? Like, if I have, like, say this is my canvas space, right? I got a regular old square canvas, right? If I stay all the way over here, and I'm focused on just, whatever's going on in this corner, right? Like, maybe I got, like, a little rock. And I'm like, oh, I know there's a tree root here, right? Like, I'm being loose. Maybe there's a tree root coming across, going in, blah, blah. We got some grass. I used basically none of my canvas space. And, like, if I stay all the way out here, like, I can figure out, okay, like, I got my tree, maybe I want it to reach across and, like, crop the top bit of the canvas a little bit. Maybe I want some mountains in the back. Get a lakeside going on here. Right? Like, I can make more decisions quickly for the sake of sketching if I'm pulled out more, right? I can worry about getting these refined later, and like I can zoom in and be like, okay, now I'm gonna work on all my details. But if I'm just trying to get my concepts down, right? Like the further back I am, the better. This also just means I can iterate a lot faster too. I like lose myself when I'm zoomed in a lot and forget the scale of things. That's the other thing too, is like proportionally, if you're zoomed in, you're only focused on the proportions of whatever is currently in your view, right? So you can't actually use, like, if you have an object over here, right, and this is your scale object for everything, if you're just zoomed in over here and you're like, oh, I know I have another thing, like, here that's gonna be doing its thing, you're only focused here for that entire bit of the painting, and then you go over here, you no longer have those objects in your vision to actively reference. So is important when you're setting up your proportions to have everything in view. Even if you're not actively paying attention to the things, they're still, like, helpful to have in your vision. Let's go back over to... What do I feel like listening to right now? T-hanking emoji. Where's value? I want to listen to value. Play? Thank you. Jeez. Oh, is my playlist broken? No, okay, we're good. Oh. Ooh. It didn't like that. I think actually this finger is just a smidge bit longer. I think I have this backwards. Too tired to draw, so I'm manifesting through you. Grab a little sketchbook. Itty bitty sketchbook. Get in your bed, get a little sketchbook. Little, like, hand-sized sketchbook. Come on. Get to it. Get up, get to it. Start drawing. Now. I don't have to be anything impactful. Doesn't even have to be anything. Doesn't even have to be anything. It just be scribbles. You could literally sit in bed right now and do nothing but and be like, I want to practice cross hatching. I'm gonna practice cross hatching. That's what I'm gonna do. What if I just draw a little cylinder, right? One singular cylinder, and then weep, 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 weep. And that's it. That's all you do. Nothing fancy. Do have a mini flipbook, you're so right.
Yeah.
I always am. Until I'm not. Ooh, my fingers. I need some water, some water. Let me double check my phone real quick. Okay, we're good. What else do we want to listen to? Oh shit. Ain't perfect, but we are getting there. I will be right back. I'm just gonna take a quick little break, maybe get a little snack, and also stretch my fingers. We've been at it for about an hour now. Doesn't really feel like I've been doing all that much, but not been super locked in. Annoy. Okay, knee back. Ooh, my control key's about to break again. Yippee! Lowen, please. Let's see. Let's get a little bit more in-depth potentially. Mm, so I know the simplified form. It's closer to what I got going on here. Where it's the... If I just break it down to like a square, right? Based on where the upper bit of the palm is, juts out a little bit, pops down, narrower here, out a bit. And then the bit for the thumb feeds into this. Has this big old bean shape going on here. It pops out a little bit. And this is mostly just like a thin layer of tendons and bone. I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, kinda, because if I were to divulge on that a little bit more, same square, the actual musculature for a combination of the thumb and I think the pinky. For the thumb, it shoots out like this. And then there's like this. Feels like it's probably a little bit too far. Well, actually, maybe not. So then there's this. You got this big old tendon that shoots down. What does that connect to? Just the wrist bone? Yeah. It's actually like a little bit of a... Stops here. Pops in this way. Stuff like that, and then this goes that way. Hmm. Is there a similar muscle grouping for each finger? Or is that just like a big one that connects to the pinky? Flexor group is made up of 2 superimposed sets. Flexor radial, carpi radialis is under the flex. 26 to page 63, huh? It's isolated to the flexor group. Hmm. 2 different superimposed sets. Okay, yeah, because there's these 2 big muscles on the palm, and then underneath all of that. Doesn't need to be perfect. When it goes up into the fingers. There is a secondary set of tendons, which I'm assuming do most of the pulling. Oh, interesting. Huh. Yeah, there's a set of tendons that go up the front and back of the fingers, it looks like. Just make sure. Yeah, okay. One that goes up the front, one that goes up the back. They both follow from, I think, the elbow? Yeah, one part each of the split in the forearm bone. The bottom of the elbow handling this space. There's a few that go up this way. Does it have the connective bit for them in this? Like a frontward angle? Perhaps? Perhaps, maybe? I can see the backwardmost ones. I mean, I think they just follow up along the bones? Like, almost one-to-one? Yeah, it kind of looks like... Okay, I think this is actually supposed to be the palm. It just looks weird. Yeah, that probably is supposed to be the palm. And there's like an outer layer of muscle that goes on top of that. Okay. Yeah, because there's like a... that old kind of invert inward. I think. If I'm looking at that right? Yeah, because it seems like they follow up along the bottom part of the arm. So if I had like an actual... They would just fan out that way. Okay. Yeah, and it kind of like splits off as it gets closer to the elbow. Okay. Does it wrap around or just hook into it? Uh, let's twist it outward. It goes inward into the body. Okay. Okay, I kind of get it. I just wanted to know which one would be more visible. So these aren't really all that visible. That's why these 2 big muscle groups are being shown, because I think those are actually the more visible of the 2. So I think those are being used to inform this shape. Because this looks like it's a combination of this muscle as well as whatever fat pads and calluses are on the top part of the palm. Which makes sense. I understand. Still though, good to know, because they lead into the... What muscle is that? What muscle are you? Oh, it's part of a flexor group, but what are you called? What are you called, actually? Function of the extensors and the flexors. Okay, I think it might actually just be called the extensors. The flexors are much more powerful because, in fact, we have more strength for grasping than for letting go. Okay, yeah. Is just called the flexors. That makes sense. Or at least that's just what they call it in the book. So that's what I'm going for. Let's find out. Let me look. Take a little look-see online. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Flexor digitorum profundus. Okay, so, yeah. Says it on the tin. That makes sense. Yeah, okay, that is the muscle group that I was looking at. Cool. Upper three-fourths of the anterior and medial surface of the shaft of the ulna. Okay. I don't necessarily need to know all that. I just needed to make sure that the name made sense to me for my brain. It doesn't really seem like it gets visible until you actually get into the forearm segment. Or unless your hand is just like friggin' massive. Back to it. Let's see. Okay, that makes sense. Me ready to bitch slap someone. Ooh, eh. Violence. It do me. Got that momentum going all that away. Ooh, my brain. How much time have I spent on this so far? 3 hours total, huh? Right? Yeah, 3 hours, 19 minutes active drawing time. I did what, like a 2 hour stream last time? We're at about like an hour and a half now, so not too bad. That's like active drawing though. Active pen to surface. I don't know what I'm in the mood to listen to right now. Maybe we change it up. Let's see. This playlist is chill, however. Actually, I don't really want to go into my electronic playlist. I know what I want. Where is it? Stay in this one. I just gotta find the right song for me right now. I like Second Action, but Sakana. Wait, did I not add? I don't think I added this to the playlist. No, I didn't. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Get in there. Swoosh. Hmm. Skip. The horses are in town. Whoops. This is a tricky one that I've decided to do. A really tricky one I decided to do, Jesus. Mm-hmm. Oh, goodness gracious. Ooh, my neck. Ouchies. Where is... Oops. Didn't mean to click on that. Oh well. Okay. Continue. Mhm. Ooh, my fingers. Mhm. Mhm. Alright. I do believe that I'm gonna call it there for today. Been at it for about 2 hours, and while I would like to get a little bit more in, I gotta give my hand a break. So, I think we're gonna end it there. I was gonna potentially play some Hytale on stream, but I think I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna chill for the day. Tomorrow, however, will be more of this, probably. Probably get the rest of this page filled up and then start another layer. Good night, Art. Thank you for to hang out. Eepers well.